Welcome students to Speaking To, provided by Logos College, and we'll be using Person to Person, Book 1, Unit 7, Conversation 2. This sweater is more stylish, Part 2. So everyone, please open the book back up to page, what page is this? Page 60. And today we'll be continuing with Part 2 of the lesson. In part 2, we are going to learn how to return or exchange an item. We bought an item that we don't like. It could be that the item is broken and we need to get a new item to replace the old item. Every single time you go buy an item from the store, sometimes when you buy it, you do not have time to check it. So when you come home, it does not fit or it does not work. And for this lesson, we are going to learn the skills or the skills to go back and exchange it for a new one or for one that we don't like, or or for one that we like. I know this is kind of hard in Laos, but in a lot of other places, when we buy an item, if we don't like it, as long as we have the receipt is the bill that they give you when you buy the item. We can go to the store as long as the item is not used. So if it's used, we cannot exchange it, but if it is still new, we can go back and exchange it for another item, or sometimes we can get our money back. Not all items can be exchanged. So certain items can be exchanged and certain items cannot be exchanged. So when you go to a store and you buy something, you don't like it or it does not work, you go back to the store, and this is how we carry this conversation. You go to the store and you will say, I'd like to exchange, I'd like to return the item. So you would say, I would like to exchange or return item. For speaking wise, we don't say I would, we just say I, and then we follow by a D sound. I'd like to exchange or return. For example, this sweater. Remember from earlier lesson for American pronunciation, the T in the middle we usually change into a D sound, sweater. And then the person that works for the store will ask you, what is the problem with it? Meaning one item. What is the problem with them? Or we can say, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with them? And then after the salesperson asks you, why do you want to exchange or return the item? This just means, why do you want to exchange the items? Exchange and return means the same. Why do you want to exchange or return the item? So what's wrong with it? What's wrong with them? Means, why do you want to exchange or return the item? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with them? Why do you want to exchange the item? And then for a lot of the places, as long as you just give them a good reason, they don't make it too hard for you. It is too old-fashioned, meaning it is not in style. It is too old-fashioned, meaning this is not the style. Oops, sorry. Or fashion. Old fashioned means it is not the style, or in fashion. We got in fashion. It doesn't fit. It does not fit. It is too small. It is too big. They don't work. See, it may be broken. Or you can just say, I don't really like them. And whenever you give them the reasons, the sales clerk, we call it sales clerk, or the salesperson will ask you, yes, of course means yes. Of course, we can exchange them, meaning they will change the item for another one. So if you buy this item, it does not work, they will give you another item that is the same. This is what it means by exchange it. Of course, we can, when they say give you a refund, that means they will take the item back and return your money. But before they do that, they have to ask you, do you have your receipt? The reason why they ask for a receipt is because they want to make sure that you bought the item at their store. You didn't buy it at a different store and try to come exchange it at this store. Or sometimes the items they cannot exchange. For example, a lot of the times whenever it's electronics, we say electronics, meaning it's a TV, it's a mobile phone. Usually with electronics, a lot of the times places do not exchange your electronics. So if they don't do it, they say, I'm sorry, we don't give refund. Sometimes they'll go ask the manager if the manager is okay with it. So if you are nice to the manager, sometimes they will exchange it. Sometimes if you're not, they will not exchange it. So whenever you go exchange an item, just give them the reason why you don't like it. Don't lie, because if you lie and they know that you lied, they will not exchange it. And just bring your receipt and just talk nicely to the manager or the sales clerk or salesperson. So for this lesson, we are going to practice how to exchange it. So continuing with these four pictures, you will look at these four pictures. There is something wrong with the item, and you are going to learn how to exchange an item. So you will look at the item, you will ask to exchange the item, and then you will give a reason why you want to exchange the item. And I believe this is part of your homework. See, so for your homework, we will review this in class, and when you go back, when you finish watching the video, you will give a reason why you are going to exchange the item. Please do not try to copy my answer because you will not get credit for it. I am giving you guys some example in class. So when I give you guys some example in class, I want you to think of your own reasons. So do not copy the example that we are going over in class. So this is part of your homework. Please pay attention to this because you have 5 questions. 4 of these will be right here. And the 5th item, you will choose any item that you want to exchange. So it could be any item. You are just thinking of a reason to exchange the item. So going back to the lesson, let's look at this one. So for this part, we call this alarm clock. So for this part, you are going to go back to the store and you are going to exchange this alarm clock. When you go to the store, what do you think you will say to the stores, to the sales clerk or the salesperson? You can use any of these sentences or a phrase. You would just go to the store and say, I'd like to exchange. Remember, exchange means you just want to replace the item with a new item. When you say exchange, you want to replace the item with a new item. I'd like to exchange this alarm clock. Right? When you go to the store and say, I would like to exchange this alarm clock, the salesperson will say, what is wrong with it? Meaning, why? This just means, why do you want to exchange the item? And for good practice, you just give them a reason. Remember, people don't like to they don't like it when you lie, so you can just tell them the reason why you like to exchange it. You can just say, it, meaning alarm clock. It, meaning the alarm clock, is broken. It is broken. It does not work. So you just tell them, it is broken. It doesn't work. If they have the clock in the store, they'll ask for your receipt. Do you have a receipt? Meaning, did you buy this at their place? Because when you buy something, any item, they always give you a receipt. If you do, they will give you a refund or they'll exchange. So for the first one, we are going to replace this because this is broken. So for the second part, we will say, remember what we say, if you want to exchange it, replace the item, you say exchange. If you don't want the item more, you say return. So for this picture right here, you say, I'd like to return this shirt. Oops, sorry. Once you say that, the sales clerk will say, what is wrong with it? And then you can say, the shirt is too small for me. The shirt is too small for me. And then they'll ask you, do you have a receipt? And of course, if you bought it from their store, you will say yes. So for the homework, I did these two for you already. I don't want you guys to do the same as this. So you just think of another reason. For this one, I'll give you guys a few examples for the first two, for these two pictures. And then for this one, you will think of your own reasons. Remember, the more English that you use, the better your English is. So for this one, another example would be, I would like to exchange this alarm clock. What's wrong with it? As a first example, we said the alarm clock is broken. It doesn't work. And then a different reason would be, it it well, let me see. It is not, well, let's change it to, it is not the right color. I want to exchange it for a blue color. So try to find some reasons for these two. If you can't try to find some reason, just keep on practicing. Don't worry about making a mistake. Just keep on practicing pronunciation and speaking, and you'll always make a mistake. So try to the best of your ability to come up with a good answer. For the second part, you can say, I bought this shirt and my brother don't my brother doesn't like the color. I bought this shirt and it is too small for my boyfriend. So try to give different reason for each one of this. For these part, I did these as an example for you. So for these two part right here, you will go and you'll come up with your own reasons. Now continue with the next part. For the next part, I will play a recording for you. On the recording, you will listen to a recording. They will have a conversation. And then you are going to write what item is being returned. What is the reason and what is the result? So for this part, you will listen to a recording that is part of the homework, part of the class assignment. You will listen to a conversation. You will hear about 3 items. You will hear item. What item is being exchanged or returned? What is the reason for the return or exchange? And the results. Did the store exchange the item? Did the store return the item, return your money? Or if they didn't, give a reason or write the reasons down why they did not return, they did not accept the item. So this part will be your homework. You will listen to a recording and you will hear about the item being exchanged, reason why it is exchanged, and can the item be exchanged. If it can, write yes, they did exchange it for this one or this one. Or if it cannot be exchanged, you write no, they did not exchange it. So for this part, complete this table right here. This is your homework or your class assignment. And if you can't, try to listen to it one time. If you cannot hear the response, then you can play a couple times, but typically it is better for you to try to listen to it to the first time. So that way you can practice listening to English. So I want you to be as detailed as you can. For this one, I want you to write in complete sentences. I don't want an incomplete sentence because you do not become better in English if you do not speak in a complete sentences. So remember this one. I did tell you in class, so write down complete sentences. Do not say that I did not tell you because I wrote right here. And I did tell you to write down complete sentences. Okay, so continuing with the lesson today, you'll have 3 parts of the homework. And then for the next part, we will try to list all of the reasons why we'll try to bring all of this up into a lesson now. For the next part, this sheet will be attached to you. This will be part of another part of your assignment. For this assignment right here, you are going to buy some items. So these are the items that is for sale. You'll have 2 pants, well, some pants. You are going to you're going to write down what color you like. For example, I like blue, so I'll write the color down blue. I am a size 32. And just think of a price that you will want to buy or you will want to pay. For example, I will say $10, right? For this part, your sales order, your order number, ignore it. So for these, you will give a price. You will tell the color, the size, and what item you want. You will continue to do this for all 3 of these parts. You'll fill in these forms right here. For example, the color that you might want will be red. Your size will be a large. And the price that you are going to pay will be $150. This one, please ignore. And then this one, will be the same. You fill in a color. You will size. You put in a size. This is a medium. And price, you give a price. So once you fill in these charts, you are going to continue with the lesson, right? You have 2 pants. Either it's pure wool or cotton, polyester, wide or narrow style. So for this part, I will do it for you. You will say, I like the one of these. I like for example, let's put narrow style jeans, right? And then, because you choose a style, I like this narrow style jeans more than the other one. I like the narrow style jeans more than the wide jeans. And then this is where your reason is. You'll say because, and then this is where you do your comparison. Because the jean is in blue, right? Or you can say, I like the pure wool jeans better than the narrow style jeans because the jean is, then you just write down the price. So for the homework, you'll fill in this chart, and then you will give a comparison. I want you to do two sentences. There are three options right here. I want you to do only two. So you are going to do two comparisons for each of these pictures. And for each of these pictures, remember I did example of this one already. For these two, you will do as yourself. So you're going to tell me the comparison for this part, and you give two reasons. I already gave an example. These are my two reasons. I just want you to do two comparisons for each of these pictures. For the next part of the homework, you will have a picture like this, right? And then you have three items again. You'll have backpack, shoes, shirt, right? So you have these three items, and for this one, you will want to exchange this one. So you will make a sentence that says that you want to exchange this. So you will write down, I'm going to give you an example for this one, and I want you to do this for yourself. So you'll say, I like to exchange the genuine leather backpack, right? I like to exchange the genuine leather backpack. And then you'll give a reason. So this one, you will come up with a reason. And then you have to think of one of the reasons right here. For example, I like to exchange the leather backpack reason, right? Because I don't like black. So this will be practicing how to make a sentence about exchange. You'll have three items, three of these, so you want to exchange one of these items right here. And you are going to exchange either a genuine, it means real. So the word genuine, it means genuine. So this is how we pronounce this word. Genuine, it means real. It is not fake. So you'll say, I like to exchange the genuine leather backpack because I don't like black. You'll once again make up two response right here. And these are the information. You will list down one of these two information. Just like the first part is a comparison, and the second part will be a exchange. So complete these three pictures with two sentences each. If you have any questions with these homework, please let me know. You can contact me on WhatsApp, or you can contact me on email. And I think this will be the end of the lessons. We did learn how to compare two items. We learned how to we learned pronunciations. We learned how to compare two items. We learned how to compare two items with a reason. And we learned how to exchange an item and giving a reasons why we want to exchange an item. So please try to use everything that you have learned in this lesson and complete the homework. If you have any questions, do not be afraid to give me a call. And I will see you in the next unit. The next unit will be units number 8. And I will see you in units number 8. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you when you complete your homework.